Perfect. Perfect.
What's up, guys, and welcome to the Isn't It Crazy podcast. Today, I want to talk about money. Some people have a lot, some people have a little, some people don't care for it, and some people think it's the root of all evil. Now, there's three different ways that I think you could spend your money, and that's what I want to focus on today. You could spend it in a bad way, in a good way, or in a smart way. The bad way would be taking that money you just earned, and I have a term for that. It's called ghetto spending. That's where you blow all your money on unnecessary things. Maybe you want to get shoes, you go out to the club and get a bottle you can't afford. You get a bunch of jewelry or clothes, or I'm not saying there's nothing bad about buying those things, but when that's your main focus, when you get a direct deposit, you're gonna get fucked. The next thing you could do is use your money for good. You could give it away to people, give it away to charity. You can go volunteer. There's a lot of good that could come from money. You could take a vacation. All these things are important for your well-being, and you could save it. All those options are good options because you're helping other people, you're helping yourself, and you're planning for your future. Now, the term I want to focus on is smart money. Now, I'm not talking about five different streams of revenue coming into your household. I don't know how to do that. If somebody listening does, I would gladly have you come onto the podcast and you could explain to everybody how you do it, how you multitask different streams of revenue, and it'd be educational for me, it'd be educational for my audience. So if you're willing to come on and explain how it's done, DM me and we could schedule you to come in and talk to everybody about that. But like everybody else, I only have one stream of revenue coming into my household. Pretty much going to a job and getting a paycheck. Now, where the smart part comes into that, because that just sounds regular, right? Is what you is how you plan for this money before you get the check or the direct deposit. You can have a game plan to what you're going to do with that. It's as easy as planning out a Friday night to go out. I know you motherfuckers love to do that. And when I say that, it's me. I'm motherfuckers. I love to plan stuff out. Maybe I'm going to go out with my boys, or I'm going to take my girl out to eat. But before you get that direct deposit or that check, the game plan should be to pay all your bills. So sit down, make a list of all the bills that have to get paid. And the moment you get that money, you start paying those off. And whatever's left after that, you take half of that and you put in a saving. After that, you could do whatever you want with that other half. And it might not be a lot. So plan accordingly, I guess. Don't go buy bottles that you can't afford. But it's simple as that. Even if the savings is $100 every 2 weeks, that's $200 a month. That's $2,400 a year. At the end of the year, you're looking at your bank account. You have $2,400 in your savings account. You could either take a vacation with that, all inclusive to Cancun. Watch my vacation video if you want to know what goes down there. You could invest it. You literally, they made it so easy to get an app on your phone like Acorn, Fidelity, Robinhood, these small time stock trading apps that allow you to grow that money into more money, I guess. Have that money work for you. Or you could just ball out with it. You could literally you can buy a new computer, you can buy new rims for your car, or a new TV. The options are endless. But it's $2,400 that wasn't gonna be there if you didn't have a plan. A lot of people love to ghetto spend. They don't have a plan each and every paycheck, and they live paycheck to paycheck. And each time the stress becomes worse, the struggle becomes worse, and the hole becomes worse. You become more in that and you become more unhappy. I know people say that money doesn't bring you happiness, but money does put food on the table. Money puts a roof over your head, and money also allows you to do anything you want. When you could look at your bank account and you know that you have ten, $20,000 saved up after a couple years, it gives you the ability to say, I don't have to go in on a Saturday. It gives you the ability to say, I can invest this money to maybe open up a shop, a barber shop, a bakery store, maybe start a podcast. It gives you the ability to take 3 months off without a worry in the world. Okay. That should be your motivation. What are you going to do with that money? If you're just saving it just to have a number in the bank account, that feels good. But at the end of the day, it doesn't give you anything tangible. If you're saving because you want to send your kids to college or a vacation, or you just want to live a stress-free life, you want to go out with your friends and know that you have money in the bank and you can spend it comfortably. That should be the motivation. It shouldn't be just to show off to people like I have money because believe me, I met a lot of people that look like they have money and they don't have a cent in their bank account. And I've met people that look like bums and they have all the money in the world. So what you do with that money is important. My suggestion would always be pay your bills, save half of whatever's left, and the other half just do whatever you want with it. That's what I think about when I look at money. And if I'm missing anything, please comment down below and let me know. I'll take that into consideration next time I get a paycheck. But that's all I got for money right now. So remember, you could use it for bad, good, or smart. And that smart money is where you make more money. So stop ghetto spending, stop using it for illegal shit, and make your life a little stress free, make your life a little more comfortable, and give yourself the ability to do whatever you want with the free time because that's what having money allows you to do. Maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's vacationing, but every cent counts and every cent can go towards something that makes you actually happy. So think about that next time you get a paycheck. That's all I got for that. So moving on to sports, there's only one thing I want to talk about this week, and it's UFC 241. We have Stipe fighting DC for the World Heavyweight Championship. Now DC, if anybody knows, beat Stipe about a year ago, and he's been on a tear. He's fought different heavyweights and defended it successfully. But Stipe didn't do anything. He just sat there and cried and asked for a rematch, and he said he deserved it. And I agree, he did deserve it. But the way he lost, the way how in the second round he got knocked out, makes it hard for DC to give him that rematch. Given that DC's plan was to retire when he was 40, it didn't give him a lot of wiggle room to give anybody a rematch. He was going for the fights that made him the most money. But regardless, Stipe got the rematch, and he was doing really good in the first fight until DC likes to get close and then back away, gives him enough room to get in some shots, and that's exactly where that knockout came. They were clinched. DC made some room, hit him with a right hook to the chin, and it was over. Stipe's reign as a world heavyweight championship came crashing down, and it made the heavyweight division a little more interesting. There was guys that DC hadn't fought, so looking towards the fight coming up this Saturday, I don't think it's going to be any different. I think DC is going to use the good old recipe that worked for him the first time. He's going to clinch a lot. He's going to take it to the ground, and if they clinch, he's going to try to use separation to give him that little edge and that little space where he could hit him in the chin. What interests me about this fight a lot is that Stipe has been clamoring for this rematch since the moment he lost, and threw Dana he threw Dana White under the bus, so he's coming back hungry, and we're gonna see a Stipe that's gonna try for the knockout. He does have knockout power, so he's gonna come out guns blazing from the moment that that fight starts. He looks hungry and he looks like he really wants to win. But the only problem is that DC has been active since he won, and Stipe hasn't fought anybody since he lost. That's a gap, and it can make you rusty. And when you're rusty and you're going against one of the best heavyweights in the world, it doesn't look good. So my prediction for the fight is that DC wins again. Now I don't want DC to win because if DC wins, he could retire. But if DC loses, in an interview he did with Ariel Hawani in the MMA show, he talked about how he wanted to retire with his hand held high, but he also wanted to run back those two losses he had against John Jones. So if he loses, he's not going to try for a third rematch against Stipe. He's going to try to fight John Jones. And what better way to go out than beating John Jones and getting your hand held high? That's the dream retirement for DC right now. So my mind and the facts say that DC is going to win, but my heart wants him to lose just so we get that third fight against Jones. They already started talking shit, so we'll see what happens. Maybe my boy Stipe could help us out there, but we'll see what happens on Saturday. The other fight I want to talk about is Nate Diaz versus Anthony Pettis. Now, that sounds more exciting than the main event. If you remember, Diaz's last fight was against Conor McGregor. First fight between Diaz and Conor, Diaz choked him out and tapped him out. So Conor wanted the rematch, and then we got one of the best fights I had ever seen in my life between Conor and Diaz too. It was just a bloodbath, and it was nonstop action from the beginning. Conor was a little more tentative because he was watching his cardio, but either way, these guys just let their hands go, and I just sat at the edge of my seat thinking that one of them was gonna get knocked out. They made all 5 rounds, and at the end, Conor won by split decision. It's up in the air whether Conor actually won that fight, but that's the last time Diaz fought. The last time Anthony Pettis fought was against Darren Till, and he knocked him out. If you don't know who Anthony Pettis is, he once was the 155-pound champion. So this guy does have knockout power. He does have the skill and the pedigree to call himself a champion. So if you look at Anthony Pettis' fights, this guy loves to punch. If it was against Tony Ferguson, he almost beat him if he didn't break his arm. At the end of the day, he loves to put one foot in that tire in the center of the ring and trade with whoever he's fighting with. And so does Diaz. So if you're looking for an exciting fight to watch this weekend, you have to tune in for that one because I guarantee you these guys are going to go at it. And I think Nate Diaz wins. I think Nate Diaz, the ability to be on the ground and just become an assassin helps him so much. He does train with Kron Gracie, and their jujitsu is no joke. So whether it's on the ground or standing up, Diaz's length helps him in the standing game, and his history in jujitsu helps him on the ground. I think Anthony Pettis either has to get really close and just trade inside and hopes to God he knocks him out, or Diaz is going to win. Diaz doesn't have knockout power. So if Anthony Pettis can't close the range and knock him out, it's going to go all 5 rounds. And most likely they're going to give it to Diaz. Now, I'm not a Diaz fan at all. I'm a Conor fan. But having Diaz win puts pressure on Conor to come back for that third fight. And hopefully if Diaz wins, he calls him out and says, let's run that third match going. Because Diaz knows that's his biggest payday. And Conor knows that's his biggest payday. Conor could fight Khabib. You have to see what happens between Khabib and Dustin Poirier. So I'll talk more about that fight during September when that fight's coming up. But there's implications to who wins and who doesn't in this card that could set up the next UFCs to come in the fall. So I'm really excited about this card. I'm gonna go watch it at Scores. If you guys live in the Chicago area, go there. It's always packed. There's a lot of UFC fans, and it's just a good environment. So I'm gonna go watch it with my boy Alex and Eric, and we'll see what happens. I'm excited for this card too. So sticking to the UFC theme, and just because Conor has been on the news about punching an old man, I don't know if you guys have seen the video. If you know Conor's, he's not shy to any controversy. There's been allegations where he sexually assaulted a woman. There's allegations where it's not an allegation, but he smashed a fan's phone on the ground and pretty much stomped on it. There's a video that came out from 5 months ago that showed Conor walk into a bar and he greets some guy, and then he starts giving everybody a cup because, like, Conor has the proper 12 whiskey. I have a bottle right there, and he likes to promote, so he likes to go to bars and pour everybody a shot. And you could see in the video, he's trying to pour everybody a shot, but there's one man that when Conor puts the cup down, he says, "No, I don't want it." And Conor, which I laughed at, grabs another cup and puts it in front of him. And then obviously they cut the video a little bit, and then it just shows Conor trying to get everybody kind of excited to take the shot. And he's trying to get this, like, he's trying to get everybody to start chanting before they take the shot. And then out of nowhere, he punches the old dude right in the head. He takes his left and just clocks him. And there was a lot of people when the video came out that said he just threw whiskey at him. He never actually punched him. But Dana White has came out on TMC and said that he did punch him, and he pretty much defended Conor. He said that Conor he said that a lot of people get in fights in pubs in Ireland. And the only reason we're talking about this is because obviously Connor's a professional and he's a well-known figure. And I agree with that. He didn't beat him up, he just punched him in the head. And that's where I reserved my reaction. If people see this video and they say Connor's a bad guy, I'm not Connor. I'm not a fan of Connor. Fuck Connor. But we don't know the whole story. We know the part where we see him punch him, but what if that guy had said, like, fuck you and your family, or some nasty shit that what if he said some racist shit? You don't know the whole story because the video doesn't have audio. And maybe they could interview this guy and see what he actually said. But then again, he's probably lying. He just said hi Connor and then he got punched. He's gonna try to sue him. When a rich person hits you, that's the first thing you do. You sue them for You sue them in civil court for a couple $1 million. I don't know how it works in Ireland, but I think Conor gets away with this one. I think he gets away with it because of who he is, how much money he has. If he has a good lawyer, they could just say that this guy instigated it and Conor felt like he had to self defend. I'm not making any excuses for Conor. I don't think he should have punched him. I think he needs better people around him to tell him, like, hey, man, you can't fucking do that. Or stop him before he clocks some old dude in the head. But we don't know the whole story. And you can't feel bad for the old man because the old man might have said some shit that was worth a punch in the face. So I reserve all reaction till I know the whole story. Now, there's people on Facebook when I was watching this video that made fun of Connor for not knocking him out. They said, "Oh, he can't knock out old men. He tried to knock out Floyd, couldn't knock him out. He tried to knock out this old guy, he couldn't knock him out." What if Connor would have knocked him out? He would have just gotten roasted even harder. So the people saying, "Oh, Connor couldn't knock him out." Is that what you guys wanted? You guys wanted Connor to knock him out? It's kind of silly. But whenever Connor or anybody famous does something wrong, we amplify it and we cast our judgment. And you never know. What if you were in Connor's position and that guy said something about your wife, or he said something about you or your friend? Better men have punched worse people. Better men have punched a lot worse people. So you got to reserve your you got to reserve your reaction till you know the whole story. So, but I thought it was funny, and yeah, you could call me a Connor fanboy, and I'm not trying to make any excuses. Connor shouldn't have done that, but when you're drunk and when somebody's instigating you, maybe that's what you do. I don't know, but just to keep this short, I want to thank the people that have been DMing me about topics. I know I suck at that. I feel like I have to do my research before I talk about it, just because I don't want to sound like an idiot. I already sound like an idiot when I talk about things I know about. So bear with me. I do have like a list of things I want to talk about, and they are queued to come out next. If you gave me a topic, I'll make sure to shout you out and give you credit for it. And I just want to say thank you. And if you haven't subscribed and liked, please do that. That helps me know what I should talk about more. So and just make the channel better. So thank you for all the support, and that's my show. So thank you.